Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel. I'm your host Terry, and today, just talking about the Bears. I'm back. Oh man, they tried to take me out, y'all. They tried to take me out. Yeah, right after the draft and decompressing from all that, I went on a little mini vacation to visit a friend and everything. End up getting COVID for the first time, and it was not great. And then that was followed up by some other stuff. And the whole month of May, I was pretty much out of commission. And then I had to, get back on track with life, with work, with classes, and everything else that I was doing. So I am just now back into like full 100% groove. So I know it's been a while. There's so many things I want to talk about and do, but I just couldn't. My body, my brain was not functioning. So I'm here though. I'm here now. And I look back and I was like, dang, I didn't even do a recap of the draft. That's how you know they took me out. So anyway, I figured why not hop on the mic, talk some Bears. Obviously, we're still in the middle of kind of the dead zone, but we're getting ready to ramp up and get towards the off season, or towards the, training camp, the real off season. And just looking at where we are, because I'm sure a lot of people got a lot of feelings. Obviously, there's a lot of sign-ins right now. You got a huge roster before you got to cut it down. And we do have our rookies and everything. And so you kind of, you might have been paying attention to a lot of different things, kind of seeing what they're doing. Me personally, I don't dip into the offseason too hard. I know a lot of people do. They hang on to all these articles, all these interviews and all that, especially with a first-year staff. I don't really care that much. I mean, we went through this many times. Like, yeah, they're going to say stuff. But until we get to the field and see it, it's not going to matter much. Like, people loved when Nagy started to talk about his offense and his system and what he's going to do. I'm like, you have no idea what he's going to do. And then we got out there and we saw that you didn't have any idea that was coming. And that's the same way I feel with any of this. It's just like, let's wait and see. Like, nobody's going to sit here and detail what is coming. That's just not how football works. So until we actually see it, I'm not relying on the information from the staff. So yeah, that's how I am. I mean, some stuff is cool to hear or see pictures from camp or video, but overall, the needle doesn't move until we get on the field. So the question is, what are we expecting? What are we thinking now that we see a little more of what we got? And for me, I am double, triple, quadruple down on what I said before. We're going to tank this year. If tanking is too much of a word for you, we're not going to be that good. The only thing that I can sit here and look for is, will we compete? And too often, fans and definitely the ownership, they don't value that enough. The NFL, for whatever reason, thinks that a coach is supposed to just do everything in 1 year, and that the staff is just supposed to turn everything around. They don't understand the foundational pieces that make a good coach. And I think Tomlin is a great example. Mike Tomlin would have been bounced in almost every other team. He would not have made it to some of the highs he made it to because they wouldn't give him the chance. But I think when you have a coach and a staff that has those foundational pieces, that you can give them time, build a roster, and get to a point where, you can compete. But everybody wants to think about just kind of loading up on stars and then making a run. Like, if that's the cool thing to be competitive for 2 years, I guess. But for me, I'd rather be perennial. So one of those foundational pieces to me is the team competing, because it's a lot of factors that go into it. But at the end of the day, if you got a coach who connects with you because you know that the relationships is a big part, but also has you well prepared and makes you feel like you're going to win. Not like you say crazy stuff and they just get fired up. No, but you know that the coach has prepared you in a way that you can go out and anticipate what's going to happen, and you know the answer of what to do when it happens, and you go out there and play with confidence. And so all that has to come together. And so I think about what Cullen was able to do with the Texans. I think about what Campbell was able to do with the Lions. Like, even what Fox, I said many times, was able to do with us. People, all this, it only matters about wins and losses. No, it doesn't. It's not all the same. And so if you have a team that is losing by an average of 3 every game, yes, there's a step to make, but that shows you, okay, this team is 2-10, but they've been with every team. Every good team, they've played them tooth and nail. That matters. And so that's really the only thing that I can take as a whole from this season. And I would say, obviously, you want to watch Justin Fields, see how he progresses. But it's hard to say with just so much, not turmoil, but uneasiness. Not even uneasy. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just not a solid foundation around him. And so it's hard for me to sit here and say everything about his development, but you still want to see what his mentality is, how he goes out there. So, it's a new regime. People are excited. But I look at the roster, as I said before, and then we had the draft, and everybody, the second wave. First of all, I've never heard that before this year. Of course. I've never heard anybody, just wait for the second wave of free agency. No, let's not wait for that. And so, anyway, we got most of the roster constructed. I look at it. I look at just everything we got going on, how we go about it. And it screams, as it screamed before, this is a team that is not pushing the chips in. They're not trying to compete at a, championship level. They are just trying to rebuild the roster. And that's fine, but it's going to be some bumps along the way. So, I mean, it's kind of, I wouldn't say open tryouts or anything, but, it kind of is like, let somebody impress us. There's very few players on this roster that are locked in. I mean, very few. So go out there. There's plenty of opportunity on the Bears to show something. So, yeah, for the most part, that's how I'm feeling. Let me know how you're feeling. I'm really curious what people are thinking about this season. What are you expecting? How do you feel so far? Go to the comment section. Let me know. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, stay up and bear down.